We chose to compare the movies Hercules and Beowulf because they both follow all the archetypal characteristics.
Hercules is of noble birth. His father is Zeus, the god of gods, and his mother is Hera. As a baby, he was taken by Hades' minions, Pain and Panic, and stripped of his immortality. Beowulf is also from a noble family. His father Edsto is an important Geat, and his uncle Hygelac is the king of the Geats. Hercules gets called to adventure when he finds out he is the son of Zeus. Zeus tells him that Hercules must become a true hero to join him on Mount Olympus. Beowulf also has a call to adventure. He hears there is a monster attacking Hera. Being a warrior, he has to help defeat it. Hercules gets help from Philoctetes. He trains Hercules and helps him become a true hero. The mentor to Beowulf is Hrothgar. He provides Beowulf with the tasks and greatly rewards him for his success. Hercules must travel to the underworld to save Meg from the River of Styx. The act of selflessness Hercules shows to save her proves he is a true hero and he gains his immortality back. Beowulf travels to Grendel's home under the sea. It is filled with serpents and sea creatures that want to kill him.
The archetypal journey of the hero is consisted of a number of steps that leads him or her to become a hero. In the movie Hercules, he goes through each of these steps to become a hero. The first step is the ordinary world. In the movie Hercules, Hercules starts out living in Greece with his mortal mother and father, where he does not belong. The second step is the call to adventure. Hercules' call to adventure is when his parents tell him that they found him when he is a baby and that he is a god. The third step is refusal of the call. In the movie, Hercules never really encounters this step. The fourth step is meeting with the mentor. In the movie, Hercules meets with his mentor Phil, who trains him to become a great hero. In Beowulf, Beowulf comes across his mentor Hrothgar, who lets him in on a story to help him. The fifth step is crossing the threshold. In the movie, Hercules crosses the threshold when he goes to Thebes, where he proves himself to the citizens and starts to become a hero. The sixth step is test allies and enemies. In the movie, Hercules faces his first test when he saves Meg from the centaur. Beowulf's courage is challenged by Unferth, but proves himself after the battle. The seventh and eighth step is the approach and the ordeal. Hercules' approach is when he goes into Thebes with the help of his mentor Phil and saves the two kids that are trapped underneath the rock. The ordeal is when Hercules makes a deal with Hades that he has to give up his strength for 24 hours for a chance to save Meg. Beowulf's ordeal is when he jumps into the monster-infested mirror to go after Grendel's mother. The ninth and tenth step is the supreme ordeal and the reward. Hercules' supreme ordeal is when he dives into the river Styx, where he goes to save Meg and nearly dies. In Beowulf, the sword hanging on the wall saves him. The reward is that he saves Meg and becomes immortal. Beowulf's reward is the treasure that he gets after slaying the dragon. The 11th step is the road back. This is when Hercules goes back home to Mount Olympus to see his father, Zeus. The final step is the resurrection. Hercules' resurrection is that he has a chance to live on Mount Olympus, but chooses instead to become mortal and live on Earth with Meg.
Hades is the main antagonist in the movie Hercules. He is the god of the underworld and has two brothers, Zeus and Poseidon. Both Grendel, the first main villain Beowulf has to fight, and Hades live in dark places secluded from others. Hades, jealous of his brother Zeus, wants to overthrow Mount Olympus. This is similar to the jealousy Grendel shows to the soldiers of Hrothgar. In order to overthrow Mount Olympus, Hades has to stop Hercules from interfering, so Hades sends Pain and Panic to kidnap Hercules and make him mortal. They do succeed in making Hercules mortal, but didn't remove his superhuman strength. In Beowulf, Grendel does a similar tactic and waits until all the soldiers in the hall are drunk and weakened to attack. Later in the movie, Hercules saves a woman named Meg and instantly falls in love with her. After learning that Hercules was in Thebes, Hades sends a Hydra to kill Hercules for good. Hercules does end up prevailing in this fight and is known as a celebrity from the people of Thebes. Hercules, like Beowulf, is able to defeat his opponents by his physical strength, not overpowering weapons. Now that his plan may have backfired, Hades sends Meg to find out Hercules' weakness, and in doing so, she will be set free. After seeing how much Meg and Hercules are in love, Hades learns that Meg is Hercules' biggest weakness. Hades then offers a deal for Hercules, which is that he gives up his god powers for 24 hours, and Meg will be unharmed from Hades. Hercules, without thinking, agrees to this and fights, and right as Hades lets Meg free, he reveals that Meg was working with him the entire time. Hercules is now weakened with the loss of his powers and crushed at the love of his life. Meg was lying to him the whole time. Hades then leaves, but unleashes a Cyclops that Hercules will have to fight without his powers. Hercules, similar to Beowulf, has to fight many different beasts and monsters along his journey. Hercules is able to defeat the Cyclops, and his godlike powers are returned to him. Meg, although is killed from her injuries caused from Hades. Hercules travels to the underworld and asks Hades if he can trade in his soul for Meg's by jumping into the river Styx. He's able to save Meg by regaining his immortality and returns to the surface. Hercules then punches Hades right into the river, which then kills him. In both Beowulf and Hercules, the heroes prevail while the villains end up being
settings
defeated.
play a very major role in the movie Hercules. The Greek gods gather at Mount Olympus to welcome the newborn son of Hera and Zeus. Mount Olympus is a beautiful home to many of the Greek gods and goddesses. Hercules is stolen from Mount Olympus and is poisoned. Hercules is found and taken by two farmers who raise him in a small town in Greece. This is Hercules' ordinary world. Hercules is safe in this small town and grows up there. This town is bright and green with a rural environment. Life and growth is represented by the lush green that surrounds Hercules as he is being raised. Hercules leaves his ordinary world in order to regain his godhood. In a similar way, Beowulf leaves his ordinary world, Geatland, to fight Grendel. Hercules enters into the unknown to fight evil and become a true hero. This new unknown world is full of dangers, such as the Centaur Narcissus, Hydra, and the Cyclops. Beowulf also must fight multiple monsters in his new unknown world. Hercules' first battle takes place at a river, and saves a girl named Meg. The river represents the beginning of a new life for Hercules. Hercules arrives in Thebes to depression and an unhappy people. The town represents a dark point in Hercules' journey. The town is unwelcoming of Hercules, similar to Unferth in Beowulf. In both cases, they are unpleasant and refuse to help the hero in their journey. After having realized that Meg is dead and Hades is in possession of her soul, Hercules travels to the underworld to get Meg back. It is a dark home to the main antagonist, Hades. The underworld represents the dead, the destination of human souls in the afterlife. As you can see, archetypal settings play a major role in both Hercules and Beowulf.
In conclusion, Hercules was a great character to compare to Beowulf because they both followed the archetypal journey. That's all, folks.